Greetings, I'm Solidus-Skully, and welcome back to Sonic X Shadow Generations, where it appears that the Black Moon, which is that Eye of Sauron thing up in the sky, yeah, that's what that thing is called, is breaking apart. And now it seems the rest of the world is our oyster, because we pretty much get to explore, I'd say about like 95% of the area right there. Well, I mean, there are a few areas that we do still lack the access to get to, but we'll talk about that in due time.
Finest creation, Black Doom. I destroyed you once. I will do it again.
You defeated us, but the Black Arms live on. And this temporal anomaly has accelerated my plans to revive my forces and consume the world.
Show yourself. We'll finish this here and now.
You are not ready yet. We are not ready yet. Once you have been perfected, then we will have our reckoning.
Dramatic music for what's basically just enemies appearing. But yeah, the plot seems to be thickening, and Black Doom is a sickening. But in any case, though, this is pretty much just our means of getting over towards our next power-up, and, well, yeah, as you saw beforehand, with the world expanding to, well, pretty much 95% of what we're going to be exploring. Yeah, by the time we get our next upgrades, most of the world is pretty much our oysters, so, yeah, let's obtain some new powers. Energize!
No! No!
Oh, the Doom Surf. Now we no longer have to worry about water ever again, because anytime you ever set foot in water, well, you pretty much activate the Doom Surf and, yeah. The world is pretty much your oyster. And, yeah, it pretty much automatically activates, yeah, you can pretty much move your shadow left and right, jump off on ramps, and, yeah, you do also have your, sideswipe abilities, so, yeah, sideswipe left and right, hit objects and enemies, and, yeah, you'll be getting a better usage out of that, well, better sight out of that as we get into our next main stage. But in the meantime, though, well, we've got an open world to explore, so as soon as we start building a bit more of the spaceship with the rocket fuel, loaded with the worst, Hulk Hogan, yeah, we're just gonna do a bit of the $10 tour of white space. And all the new areas that have been eaten by the Time Eater. Lovely. Would go better with a bit of relish as I flick you some sausage, darling. But anyway, as I mentioned beforehand with the rocket, yeah, pretty much do it in increments of 20 if you want to see the rocket gradually become built. And, well, yeah, the reward as such, we'll discuss when we get there. But in the meantime, however, yeah, just pretty much just sort of going around, exploring the new areas and, just sort of detailing what we can interact with and what we can't. As well as getting a bit of new dialogue from, well, you know, Omega and, Orbot and Cubot, which is weird, but whatever. Anyway, thoughts are rushing through my brain, so I guess I might as well better tackle them in order. First of all, yeah, in this part I actually ended up going through a bit of a fuck-up, because, some of the footage I recorded of our next stage, which, well, you'll probably know what it is by the time that you see it. Yeah, footage ended up getting corrupted, so basically I had to sort of go back immediately and, re-record that from a completed save file, so, yeah. That's kind of a bit pause. One of the unfortunate drawbacks of that is that there was no major cutscenes, except for one that introduces Big the Cat as an talkable character thing. So yeah, you unfortunately miss out on that cutscene, but I did manage to record the stage of what we're going to be tackling next, so don't worry, you are going to be seeing that in action. It's, just unfortunate that this had to happen, but you know what, turned out to be a bit of a blessing in disguise, I suppose, because, especially with the DLC of, Sonic X Shadow Generations being released not too long ago, which is basically just meant to be there for like a tie-in to the Sonic the Hedgehog 3 movie, yeah, did give me a bit of time to practice so I could, get that stage done, so, yeah, looking forward to that. Anyway, that purple ooze that you were seeing right there, that pretty much slowed Shadow right down, yeah, that's gonna require another upgrade, but let's just say that, gunk, we'll be tackling that, well, quite a while away now, so, never you mind for the time being. But either way, you can't really do anything with it, and it just sort of slows Shadow down. But anyway, all that aside is we pretty much just traverse around the hub world and, obtain more concept art and banging tunes. Yeah, I might as well talk about the next thing that I was talking about, which was actually fittingly going to be about the DLC that was, released just yesterday. Well, at time of recording anyway. Yeah, I mean, I have pretty much gone out of my way to, give it a bit of a playthrough, and, I did record it last night after a few bevies, so, yeah, I do have the footage, it's just, I need to, convert the files and transfer them to editing, but, yeah, where exactly I'm going to be placing that I'm not really too sure, but, you'll see, when we get there, and I find an apropos place to put it, really. In any case, though, what we're doing right now is actually some of the side missions you can do while in the hub world. Basically, sort of akin to what Sonic Frontiers had, you basically have little challenges you can get for, well, additional goodies here and there, except in Sonic X Shadow Generations' case, it's really, well, concept art. Although in this case we didn't get anything because I failed. Well, primarily because I didn't exactly have the required upgrades, so you do kind of have to tackle these, at your expense and if you have all the right abilities, but either way, it can be quite fun, and, you do get a bit of concept art for your troubles, so all enjoyable, I suppose. But yeah, I will be showing what happens when you do complete a few of them, and, yeah, I mean, I suppose in a not-so-subtle way, as the eye of Black Doom is staring us down. Yeah, I have pretty much decided to use Sonic X Shadow Generations, partially because I did want to cover the game, because I genuinely enjoyed playing it, but it was also a bit of a test to see how exactly I would handle Sonic Frontiers commentary, which I was never really too sure on how I was going to go about. But again, since this game is, well, in a lot of ways, and, somewhat not really, a bit more of a truncated version of what Sonic Frontiers really was with its open world gameplay, I think I have finally figured out exactly what I'm going to do, which is basically going to comprise of, exploring a bit of the hub world, going about doing a few challenges here and there, and then just sort of, zipping about and editing towards apropos points so that the pacing of the commentary is, well, at least the commentary pacing has a reasonable flow to it, for lack of a better phrase. So yeah, I guess the main precipice of what I'm trying to say is that I'm trying to, like, handle everything in a way where everything we are experiencing is fresh and new, and that what we are exploring, if we are covering old ground, is either new stuff that we haven't seen yet, or is at least expedient enough so that it doesn't take up too much time, or that we, that everything just has a good rhythm to it. Like a good Sonic game always should have, my dear. Yes. I don't know why I'm doing a silly voice. Yeah, but in any case, though, that's pretty much all she wrote as we get to our next challenge, and I finally succeed at gathering the rings. But yeah, this is also pretty much used as the Crush of Audi version of All Hail Shadow. Incidentally, I don't know if I mentioned it before, but even the hub world also plays like a, an orchestral version of All Hail Shadow done with a bit more of an ambient tune to it, so yeah. All Hail Shadow gets a lot of love with various remixes in this very game. I don't know, could have used a remix of Almost Dead, but guess we can't have everything that we want. Anyway, more artwork of what appeared to be some Sonic X character bits of design. It looked to be from like the battle that Sonic X adapted out of Sonic Adventure 2, but whatever. Sonic Adventure 2 stock artwork. But in any case, though, same thing that I've said before also applies to pretty much everything else that we're doing. I am pretty much just also sort of I'm not going to show where all the hidden bolts are, and, you know, again, I'm not showing where everything is, but you'll at least get a decent idea of where most of everything is. I mean, I am at least showing up some of the pathways where you can travel in order to find a lot of the hidden goodies, but really, I think you yourself will more or less have a lot more fun, you know, exploring by yourself and finding out what everything is by the time you get there. Kind of like these little floating things, where we happen to obtain... Professor Joe Robotnik's diary. Yeah, that's also another, well, a bit of a point actually, because I wasn't really too sure what I was going to do with Professor Joe Robotnik's diary, so to speak. I mean, again, this is something that you do unlock throughout the game, although, you know, if you do get a new copy of the game, yeah, that actually does come with a physical version of Joe Robotnik's diary already unlocked, which I have. So, yeah, I pretty much unlocked this all to begin with, which I mean is quite a fascinating read. But anyway, back to the salient point that I was trying to mention is that, again, I wasn't too sure if I was just gonna, you know, read out the diary and just sort of, you know, kind of do it in a similar manner to what I do with, you know, the Ansem reports or Xehanort reports in Kingdom Hearts, you know, for those of you who have ever seen those commentaries. Or if perhaps, you know, I just sort of show it off, you know, let people pause the video and read it for themselves and, you know, then just sort of talk about what I want to do. I might end up doing both, but to be honest, I'm really not too sure what everybody else thinks and feels. I mean, I don't know, it is filled with some quite good stuff, and I wouldn't mind, you know, going the extra mile to give it some, you know, atmosphere similar to what I did with the Xehanort report videos, so... yeah, something to be decided at a later date, I suppose, but either way, it does make for quite interesting reading, and you will be seeing that. But in any case, anything else we have to say as we continue to hunt for bolts, screws, and other bits and pieces of Ratchet and Clank money? Well, there is actually one thing I guess I might as well apologise for, is that, mainly for some of the schedule slippages from, you know, the first week, because last week I did release, you know, the first part of this, commentary on a Monday, and I was intending to do so for, you know, Wednesday and Friday as well, you know, as is my usual commentary schedule, but, yeah, late December, things have gotten a bit busy, and, you know, I am doing my best to try and record these. It's just that, I want to make sure that I have enough so that, you know, you guys have enough to watch, you know, in between commentaries and reviews and whatever is being uploaded, so, yeah, I am trying desperately to make sure that everybody has something to watch during the holiday season, but, you know, and I have brought this up beforehand, commentaries. It's, getting harder and harder as I get older to, you know, find the time to record them whilst taking care of responsibilities. Which, I mean, it can't be helped, and, you know, responsibilities I do have to take care of, you know, because I'm an adult now, I can't exactly shirk what I have to do, but, you know, I do still feel very honor-bound to sort of, you know, give my audience the respect that it deserves, so, yeah, I am trying, but, you know, I would at least appreciate, you know, I would appreciate a bit of a break here and there. But in any case, though, yeah, I am pretty much using today, which is a Saturday, at time of recording, to, you know, pretty much, to basically just sort of, you know, get a couple more parts recorded as much as I possibly can, get enough of a head start, so that way I can pretty much finish the current review I have in progress, and, after that point, pretty much just, you know, just take it easy for a bit, at least, during the Christmas day and Eve in and of itself, and then sort of get back to work, and hopefully things will be good. Ooh, I need a vacation. But anyway, this mysterious area right here. Gated off. But there is a boss arena. Very interesting. Yeah, also a very dusty desert looking for those of you who remember your Sonic the Hedgehog 2006 topography. Oh, well, I'm sure it's nothing. But in any case, more bolts are ours, and... the rocket is being completed. Although, I mean, honestly, despite, you know, needing a few more metal coverings, it pretty much looks ready now, so... yeah, whatever, not really too much to say apart from that. I mean, the only real visible thing that really gets shown on the rocket after this is pretty much just like a bit of a paint job, but really, it looks sort of ready to go now. But in any case, though, this is our new stage. For those of you who also remember one of the more famous stages from Sonic the Hedgehog 2006... well, yeah, but you can tell what this is going to be, and you're going to be seeing the title as we cut over to the newly recorded footage. Yes, it's Kingdom Valley. Well, I mean, I suppose it is a bit of a blessing in disguise that my original recording was a bit ruined as well, because, you know, I feel like this take did end up going slightly better than what I had before, but yeah, well. And yes, I did change the music to Death Ruins as opposed to the regular Kingdom Valley theme, but don't worry, you will be getting to hear it in the Sonic Generations portion, so fear not, those of you who love your orchestral Sonic the Hedgehog 2006 soundtrack. But in any case, so as one of the stages that I did back in the day want to see in Generations, yeah, I'm really happy this made the cut for, you know, the Shadow portion, and again, it's quite a well-made level. I really enjoy how this level plays out, and I mean, again, obviously it is a major step up over, you know, the direct that we did get in 06 itself, but yeah. Very nice take on the level, does pay homage to a lot of Shadow's segments, as we'll soon be seeing, and on the whole, just a lot of cool stuff that really does the level justice in my eyes. But particularly when it utilizes, you know, a lot of, you know, riding on the wind patterns, and indeed here, where it pretty much emulates, you know, a lot of Shadow's vehicle sections. I mean, again, he wasn't using the Doom Surf in 06, he was pretty much using, like, a little hovercraft thing. Although that does also bring me to one of the critiques about, well, one of the critiques slash praises of Sonic X Shadow Generations, where, again, I remember a lot of you reviewers also praising this game for, oh god, this is how it should have been, because Shadow isn't using the guns in the vehicles. Which does make me wonder, like, I mean, if Shadow's hovercraft in 06 controlled similar to the Doom Surf like this, would people have still had a problem with it because it was a vehicle and, oh, why does Shadow use vehicles? He can run fast. Or is it just purely a case of, oh, it's fantastical, therefore more Sonic-y? I'm really not too sure what people are really getting at. I think, well, I mean, again, at time of recording, I am currently, you know, finalizing a script for the Shadow the Hedgehog review, so, you know, it does kind of bring me to an argument and a talking point in that review, which I guess I might as well spoil here, is that, yeah, a lot of people, particularly when it comes to Shadow and some other darker elements of the Sonic universe, yeah, really concerned about how things look. Not necessarily the context or content, but more so about how it looks. In any case, though, that's neither here nor there in this case, just a little talking point, and yes, if you don't hurry up with your little Doom Blast ability, well, eventually, you know, the Black Arms will just flop to the floor, and it'll disappear into the mist of green blood. That was, in fact, its censored apparition. Or was that just for the human characters? Ah, well, I mean, what I was referring to was basically just a little thing from the original Shadow the Hedgehog, where when it had the T for Teen rating, blood was in red, whereas later on it was changed to green. You know, kind of like in an Ocarina of Time where Ganondorf coughed up red blood, but then it was green because... I have no idea. Nintendo. They are weird. Yeah, jump up and hit down the circle button, and then you'll pretty much dive down and get a higher jump boost. Fun, fun, fun. Wind paths. Take us away to brand new depths. Yeah, speaking of, you know, some other parts of, you know, 06, I believe Kingdom Valley was also one of the first levels that was ever actually shown back in, I think it was the Tokyo Game Show 2005, which I do believe part of this level is actually based on, so, yeah. It's come a long way, baby. There we go! Once again showing that there are many different pathways you can take, so, I mean, if you do end up picking up the game for yourself, I mean, again, you don't just have to take whatever pathway that I'm taking right here, you can pretty much pick a multitude of different ways to get to your destination, which does give the game a... It does give the game a fair bit of much-needed replay value, especially as we get to, well, the one bit of 06 that this level would have shown during the advertisements, which was an automated speed bit. Yeah. But in any case, so, all that aside, I mean, if you are looking for a bit of a cool Christmas present this year, Sonic X Shadow Generations, I would recommend it, but, it's quite fun. Whee! Chaos Control. You are so fun, and I'm glad you've made a return. But yeah, as I mentioned beforehand, yeah, you can pretty much sideswipe with the Doom Surf, and, well, okay, you can't exactly hit back those bombs, because red equals evil. You know, alongside that little Black Arms creature that, you know, launches its, tendril at you, but, yeah, it's, all in all, pretty good. There we go. And now for quite possibly one of the coolest parts of Sonic 06, and Kingdom Valley in and of itself, the Rising Falls. Yeah, it feels very, Hollow Bastion, for those of you who know your Kingdom Hearts topography, but honestly god, this is a really cool fucking set piece, and yeah. It's really fucking cool. I don't know, it's just rising waterfalls, man. It's yeah, it's a sight to behold and just a lot of fun, really. There we go. There we go. Now we walk to the finish line, just to embrace everything. Ah, victory. And yeah, since this is also additionally recorded footage, we pretty much jump from one stage to the other, so yeah. Sorry for those of you who wanted to see, you know, the thing rising up or, you know, colour being restored to the world, but yeah, recording troubles, they happen, can't really be helped, and yeah, sadly no Kingdom Valley theme for you here either. Instead we have Flame Core, which is another stage from 06, well, a track from 06, which is from well, the titular stage, Flame Core. And actually one of my favourite tracks out of that game as well, so yes, we get to hear cool rockin' music. Ready for you. But yeah, anyway, with Act 2 pretty much taking a 2D section, we get introduced to wall jumping. And well, in turn we also get to see a lot of the interiors of the castle, alongside that really cool looking infinite loop thing. Maybe I'm just very easily impressed, maybe it's Maybelline, but either way, it's a lot of fun. Not really too much else I really have to say that I haven't already said about the 2D segments here, so guess might as well talk about Kingdom Valley in and of itself and what it was really meant to represent. Well, primarily in terms of Sonic 2006 topography, or is topography really the right word? I mean, it is locale, so I suppose it is, but yeah, basically a lot of this also had a lot to do with 06's mythology, which is, you know, to do with sun gods. Solaris and Mephiles, well, we might be seeing a few remnants of those later on in the game, but yeah, basically it was this very Final Fantasy-esque sort of mythology that, well, needless to say, a lot of people took a bit of umbrage with, as, you know, 2006 at the time took a dip into very serious territory that, well, received a mixed reception up until recent years, with a lot of people trying to sort of fix 06 with, like, you know, Project 06 and various fucking fan mods over the years, so, you know, its reputation has somewhat improved, but, only really in the fan department, yeah. Don't expect that game to get a re-release anytime soon. Yeah, but either way though, yeah, I don't really have much else to say on Kingdom Valley. But yeah, I mean, if you want to get some of the best ranks and, you know, get all the delicious, tasty tokens, and, you know, it does pay to make great use out of your Chaos Control abilities, and, well, I mean, again, if I can talk about the game design, I do really like how they did implement a lot of Shadow's powers here. I guess by the fact that they had you know, they utilized a very arcadey and simplistic nature of, you know, the traditional Sonic gameplay. I guess they were really sort of able to sort of nail down a bit of a utilitarian use for how to utilize your abilities to, you know, get the best ranks and get all specific collectibles that you're looking to collect. I mean, it feels very deliberately designed in a way, and particularly in stuff, I mean, not just in stuff like that where, you know, it intends you to utilize your abilities just to pass through the stage. I don't know, it just works itself into its design very naturally, and I don't know, the more skillful you are at utilizing your abilities, the more rewarding it is, which, again, really does sort of harken back to that sort of classic Sonic and, you know, Sonic Adventure 2 feeling of just, you know, playing through levels, feeling like a badass as you blow through stages with your mastery of the design. Which, I mean, again, I know is very just typical terms for, you know, your average video game, or at least any game that's well designed, but again, when you get things done in one nice, slick and silky run, it feels fucking incredible, man, and that's what gives these games their power. Like the power of Chaos Control. Oh no, by the way, you can't jump early to get that ring. Believe me, I've tried multiple times. Even in this very run. But yeah, all that aside though, and again, as you have also been seeing during, you know, all the times that I've tried to use the Doom Blast, yeah, you can either use it to go where the wind takes you, or, you know, aim a little bit higher and find other pathways to sort of, you know, get a little bit of extra distance. No, get a bit of extra distance and, you know, just sort of maximize your time, really. It's that freaking sweet. But in any case, I'm Solidus-Skully, keep it new metal, and I'll see you next time for more Sonic X Shadow Generation shenanigans. Catch you later. Bye-bye.